America's State Department recognizes 195 independent countries around the world.
And tonight we meet a Lincoln woman who's been to a very large percentage of those countries.
Our Lance Schwartz caught up with her between trips to the airport. Lance?
Thanks, guys. I've always considered myself a bit of an avid traveler, but compared to Ruth Gerber, an avid traveler I am not. As of this moment, I have visited a grand total of one country, and it's the one I'm standing in right now. Ruth, on the other hand, has had the pleasure of setting foot in 60 nations around the globe.
This is a picture of Angkor Wat.
Ruth Gerber was born to explore.
I didn't fall in the timid category. I got to do what I wanted to do, and if it was fun, I did more of it, and if it wasn't fun, I didn't do it.
As a middle child in a large family, Ruth dared to discover at an early age.
I think it has to do with having the whole farm of 160 acres or whatever to roam in without much restriction.
This Wymore native has gone from exploring 160 acres in southeast Nebraska to exploring 60 countries around the world.
I love to go to cultures that are quite different than my own.
Ruth has walked on the Great Wall of China, and she's touched the pyramids in Egypt, and she's also eaten a lot of interesting food.
Eating that native cuisine, is that a big part of traveling for you?
Yes, I like to eat what they eat and like to know what it is, just to understand again the differences. Because I figure you can go all over, but if you don't get wiser about cultural differences, and why does one country eat more of this and another country eat more of that?
Jay is Ruth's husband of 42 years, and he's visited almost as many countries as his wife.
I can maybe think of the most memorable countries: Antarctica, Africa, Tanzania, Botswana.
The been there, done that list
Australia
goes on,
Sweden,
and on,
Italy,
Norway,
and on.
Spain,
Denmark,
Portugal,
Germany.
See what I mean? Ruth is an organizer for not fundraising, but friend-raising trips for the Lincoln Public Schools Foundation.
Argentina,
France.
We pick places that people wouldn't go on their own. They appreciate being in a small group, but it is very small. But it's adventuresome enough that you do lots of activities all day long, so you have to have some stamina.
Yes, Ruth has tallied 60 countries over the past 40 years. But to her, the numbers don't mean near as much as the experiences.
It's interesting to see what a veterinarian shop is in an African village. I don't care if I've been to 10 or 50. Am I different because I went to those countries? That's the important thing.
Ruth led the LPS Foundation trip to Vietnam in early 2013, and coming up in January of 2014, Ruth will be leading a trip to the country formerly known as Burma in Asia. And in 2015, the Foundation's annual trip will be to the beautiful country of Morocco. And boy, would I love to tag along on a couple of those trips. But alas, I'll probably have to settle for a World Traveler Starter Kit trip to Canada or Mexico to bump that countries been to list to dos.
Well, you got to get out there, Lance, and see some stuff. You know, come on.
I'm kind of limited by the borders of Nebraska at this point. I'm bound to explore someday.
You do such a good job telling the stories
Right.
for the people in Nebraska. We
Thank
understand.
you. But let's go to Morocco
Let's
next
do it.
week.
Why
Let's
not,
do it.
right? All right. Thanks, Lance. And we'll update your forecast next. Stick around.